Howdy everybody, and welcome back to Dave's Old Iron. Sitting here in the house today in front of the pellet stove here behind me. It isn't on right at the minute, but it is keeping the house warm. Let me tell you, I've not been out doing anything in the shop or outside here of late for at least the last month or so, except for one day in particular. I did manage to get out to the shop for about an hour the other day, and all I managed to get done was to hang some new lights in the shop. I thought I was going to work on the little Alice Chalmers bee, but my hands just got so cold and numb, couldn't feel anything to touch it, so decided it was time to come in. And if you don't believe me about the cold temperatures around here this last week, on Monday it was minus 42 in West Yellowstone. Yes, indeedy, Yellowstone Park, West Yellowstone, I can't even talk today. The West Yellowstone City, or the city of West Yellowstone, minus 42 degrees. Yes, there's been temperatures really into the negatives around here. In fact, I think this morning somebody said it was only like 12, so here in the valley where I'm at. So anyway, yeah, not a lot getting done outside. By the way, I am actually undressing the tree. Yeah. I got to play with its balls. Ha 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 ha. Now, before you think I haven't been doing much other than sitting around the house, inside where it's warm, quite the contrary. I have been putting in my 9 hours of driving time and work time at the in-town job. Plus, I've been doing a little bit of remodel work here in the house. Put a new drain in the bathtub, and I bought a bunch of tile to put behind the stove here. That's going to be a wintertime project we're going to get done before we get back outside and get started on other stuff. So, let me show you what we did in the shop. Next up, we're going to get rid of these old noisy fluorescent lights and replace them with what they call brooder lights. Yeah, we're going to plug those in. Got one hanging over there just slightly away from being vertically above the wood stove. That way any heat coming off the wood stove hopefully won't affect the insulation on the wiring going to the light or the light itself. And I'm using regular old-fashioned incandescent light bulbs, not LEDs, because a lot of those LEDs can't handle the heat. And I don't need any issues, so using the old tried and true light bulbs from 20 years ago. The other one I have mounted up here over the toolbox so I can have some light in the toolbox to see what I'm doing. When it's a little bit warmer, I'll come out here and take down the fluorescents, but for now, yeah, we got some light. That one right there does throw some nice light down on the toolbox so I can see what I'm doing there, which, yeah, everything in here needs to be cleaned up and cleaned out. Okay, we'll run the wire between the 1-bys that hold up the tin roof in that little void right there. And we'll run this back here and plug it in and see what we got in the way of light. Oh yeah, a lot better. Yeah. Now maybe we can see what we're doing on this end of the building. Yeah. Now that I have that one there and this one over here on this side kind of lighting up this end of the garage, I need one kind of over that workbench. So I'm going to get one of those tap deals that plugs into that outlet that gives you 3 different things you can plug into, and we'll hang another one of these lights like right there over this workbench here. So we'll have some more light there. Well, that wrapped up what I had going on in the shop that day. Hanging those lights was about all I could do. My fingers were all numb and cold, and it was just a miserable experience to be outside that particular afternoon. It's only like 22 or 23 degrees then, and yeah, it wasn't warm enough out there at all to be doing anything. Some of the other things I have been doing, though, we have the flyers just about all but completed, the prototypes or the whatever you want to call them, before you finalize it and you start printing them. And the reason why I don't have them finalized yet is because I have been invited to the 263 Edge and TA Group's meeting tomorrow night. Yeah, I think it's 263, maybe, yeah, 263. They are an antique tractor and pulling bunch. So I have a meeting to go to with them, and once we find out from them if they're going to be doing a tractor pull or whatnot, we can modify the flyers to reflect that and help promote them as well as the event here at Nelson Creek Farm. We do have a food vendor lined up. We got several flea market people lined up. We got a couple of neighbors that are interested in bringing their tractors in. So we will have a good show on May 17th coming up this year. So that's going to wrap it up for now. If you would, please, right down there, yeah, hit that big red button that says subscribe on it and the little bell icon next to it so you can get notified every time there's a new video out from Dave's Old Iron. I'd really appreciate it. We've been hung up around the 918 to 920 subscriber range, right in there now for the last couple of months, and I'd like to see some progress in increasing that a little bit, and hopefully this upcoming show will help do that. So make sure you stay tuned here and subscribe. It helps me to know that I'm doing right by you, and yeah, maybe we'll get what we're doing here out to more people that would be interested in this type of content. So, as the dog just burped. Hey, that reminds me, now that all the election stuff is over with, I'm kind of wondering if any of you caught the story about the poor fellow in, Lansing, Michigan at the Cadillac factory that fell into the upholstery machinery. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how he was doing. I talked to my friend this morning. He said it was about 12 degrees out. And he seemed to think that the fellow had recovered nicely. Anyway, I'm Dave, wishing you well. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye for now.